Hey everybody, my name is Nishant. I'm a dyslexic science teacher. I teach here in Southern California. Now, last week I made a video about the 16-week mental health program that I'm doing in order to help me get into a better headspace. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it into the description below. In that video, I talked about my theory that mental health is kind of built like a reverse pyramid, where there's a few key things that make a huge difference in how you feel. So for the next 15 weeks, I'm going to take each one of those key ideas and incorporate them into my life and kind of document what's been happening. So the key ingredient that I've started to incorporate into my life and started building habits around is hydration. I know it's like a really simple idea, but hydration was something I kind of neglected. I think a lot of people just kind of neglect, but your body is pretty much made of water and all of its chemical reactions are based in water. So if your body is lacking water, it's not going to be able to perform all those metabolic processes because it's lacking a key ingredient. So I know it's really simple and really easy to just drink water, but I thought it would be a good place to start because it's really easy and it would give me a win right away. So what I've been doing is I did some research on how much water should I be drinking, because I never actually did research on this before, never actually even thought about this before. And it turns out you're supposed to be drinking around 120 fluid ounces of liquid. So that includes water and if you're eating fruits and vegetables, all the liquids from there as well. So the first thing I did this week was I bought this Nalgene water bottle. It's a 48-ounce water bottle, and I figured if I drink 2 of these every day, it would get me to about 100 fluid ounces, and the rest of the liquid I can probably get from eating and things like that. And this has made a huge difference. So what I do is I drink one of these before 12, and then I drink another one of these before I go to bed, and that kind of pretty much guarantees that I get the amount of hydration I need every day. I also track this with an app called Productive. It's on the Apple App Store, and what it does, it allows you to have streaks of habits. So I'm trying to get this into a habit. So each day that I finish 2 of these, I mark it off, and so far I have a 9-day streak with drinking water like this. So it's pretty cool. So I've been doing this for about 9 days now, and I've noticed a lot of really cool things. The first thing that I've noticed was on my foot, I have my foot's always been cracked. On the bottom of my foot, the soles have always been cracked, and I'm noticing that they're healing. The cracks are going away, and my foot feels a lot less rough. They feel a lot more softer. That also goes for my skin. My skin I used to have dry skin all the time, and they kind of felt kind of rough, and my skin is starting to soften up a little bit too. And before I just thought I just was a person who had cracked feet because I would just always walk walk barefoot. But it turns out hydration is a key factor in keeping your skin smooth. So that's been really fun and kind of cool to experience. And I'm sure the longer I do this experiment, the better my skin will feel. So that's been really cool. Another cool thing that's been happening is I'm starting to notice the differences between being hungry and being thirsty. Before I thought whenever I had a feeling of an urge to consume something, I automatically assumed oh, I must be hungry. Let me go grab a snack. But what I'm starting to realize, especially with this, is that most of the time when I'm feeling hungry, I'm actually just feeling thirsty. I'm just feeling dehydrated. So something that I've been doing lately is a couple of days ago, I just decided that I want to drink one of these in the morning before I eat anything. And before, I would wake up really hungry, and I would just right away go downstairs and make myself a smoothie or something. But after this, I've just realized I can just go for a long period of time without eating, because those feelings that I'm feeling, those urges that I'm feeling, is not actually for food, it's actually for water. So I'm starting to develop a differentiation between the feeling of hunger and the feeling of thirst, and that's been really cool. And that took about 4 or 5 days for that to happen, of being properly hydrated, as I was doing this process. So another reason why I'm doing this challenge is because I want to get back into shape, and I want to lose some weight that I've gained over the last couple of years. So from the beginning of this challenge to now, I actually gained 1 pound. So when I first started this challenge, I weighed 215 pounds, and today I checked myself, I weigh about 216 pounds. Your body weight usually fluctuates, so your scale isn't really a good indicator of fat loss or fat gain. But what I realized is that I think when I was first doing my calculations with on the scale, I have really been dehydrated. So I probably wasn't as hydrated as I am right now. So what's probably happening is my body's actually retaining a lot of water weight because it's actually being like hydrated. It's actually having the correct amount of water in my system. So that's a good thing. I'm not really disappointed with that at all. I will be tracking my weight throughout this next 15 weeks or whatever. So I started with 215 pounds at the beginning of this project, and I'll tell you guys what I am each week. So we can kind of see where we're going. Another thing that I think it's going to be interesting is this week is water. Next week I'll be introducing you guys to my next experiment that I did and the next habit that I'm going to be incorporating, and hopefully they're going to get harder and harder each time. So water was really easy. So if you guys want to get started with like just making a change, a positive change in your life, just pick up one of these bottles or just figure out a way to track how much water that you drink every day and try to get at least 100 fluid ounces of liquids into your system every day, because that way you can actually stay hydrated. And with these numbers actually come from the National Institute of Health. They did a study in 2004, and it was determined that a male needs about 125 fluid ounces, and I think a female needs less than that. I think it was like 80 or 90 or something like that. I don't actually remember the numbers for females. But yeah, check it out. I hope you guys like this one. Hope you guys stick around for the next couple videos because I'm excited to see where it's going, and I'm already in a better mental health space just by making this one change. All right, guys. Love you. See you in the next one.